Hello. So I was in the middle of writing a blog post about the month of August and what it's been like traveling on the road with the nutrition, with working out, and just life. And it got so long, and there were certain things that I wanted to put in there that I just didn't want to go through research, put links, and do all the things. And so it was like, I'm just going to do a video because I feel like that's easier, and I feel like you'll watch this more than you would sitting and reading a blog post. So if writing and reading is your thing, I'm sorry. You get the blog posts, you will still get the links, but we're going to talk about the month of August on the road. So it started with us in Wyoming. So we've been to Wyoming, and we went to Wyoming, Idaho, and now we are in Montana. Now I know that we are in the middle, not the middle, but we are in the beginning of September. I wanted this video to go out Labor Day weekend. However, my brother was here, and so that didn't work out for me. But you got it now, so that's all that matters. So we started in Jackson, Wyoming in the beginning of August. We spent time in Jackson, Wyoming. Then we went from Jackson, Wyoming to Idaho, which is basically like on the border of Idaho and Wyoming. We went to Driggs, Idaho, but we stayed in Alta, Wyoming. They're right near each other, but they were awesome times. Both of these occasions, a lot of mountain biking took place. Big Sky, and then from Big Sky we went to Whitefish, and we have been in the Montana area for a little bit now. Really loving Montana. The one thing that I do miss is that it's getting really chilly in the morning, and so it's taken me a while to warm up. And that is where we're going to segment into talking about fitness on the road. So the first couple of months, of course, because I was coming off of a consistent workout schedule where, if you've been following me for a while, I would go to the gym 4 to 5 days a week and lift very heavy for me. And that was my routine. That's been my routine for years. And so coming into this where I just have some bands and a kettlebell has been a challenge. I was highly motivated in the beginning to continue and be consistent with moving. And so with my kettlebell and my bands, I would go out 3 to 4 days a week and get workouts in. I would create them on my own. I would find areas that I could do them, and I would get it done. Was it ideal? Absolutely not. Did I want to sometimes? Absolutely not. But the weather was warm, and it was easy for me to do for the most part. And so I felt like there was no excuse not to do that. And so moving on into August, we're going towards cooler temperatures. And the environment has just not really been ideal for workouts. Luckily, when we were in Driggs, Idaho, they had a 24-hour fitness, I think is what I went to. And so I had a week membership there, which was amazing. It was probably the highlight of my time there because it just was so good to get in and move some weight. And aside from that, I was squeezing in probably 3 lifting workouts that would range anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes long. And I'm creating these myself. And so I can say that the past couple of weeks have been really challenging for me to get back into that motivation because of the cooler weathers, because we are not in ideal locations. I'm literally doing workouts in the dirt wherever I can find and trying to find like smooth places. I know, and I keep telling myself this, that like I can go out and swing a kettlebell for 5 minutes, or I can do 4 sets of 10 reps of kettlebell swings, and that could be, that's movement. But if you know fitness and motivation is just not there. I just don't want to do it right now. And so I'm struggling with that. I'm kind of working through that, trying to figure out why and how I can make that better. So to be fully transparent, it's been 2.5 weeks where I have not touched weights. The workouts that I have been doing, and I think that this is probably my saving grace, is that no, I haven't been lifting the way that I want to. However, I'm running and biking, and I'm running and biking 5 to 6 days a week. So I'm getting in fitness. It's not that I'm not doing fitness, I'm just not doing the strength, and the strength is extremely important to me. I find endurance comes way easier for me. I am more than happy to go out and go on a jog or go on a quick bike ride. But to do the lifting, there's so much mental energy that is involved in that, because one, you have to figure out what workout you're doing. You have to see if you have the equipment and see what it's going to be. Then you have to understand reps and sets and all of those things. There's just a lot that goes into that, and there's a lot of effort that goes into prepping for it, because you can't just go into lifting heavy weight. And so this is one thing that I know holds some people back when it comes to fitness, is that mental energy that's spent having to figure all that stuff out, especially when you work out at home. That's why finding programs that you can do is so helpful. And if I wasn't living on the road, I would be doing a program, or doing a program that I've written, because it makes it so much easier to do. It's just being on the road, you have very little equipment, and a lot of these programs that are out there do not incorporate the amount of endurance that I'm doing and that you would be doing. And so that's why it's really valuable to find somebody and find a strategy that is going to mesh well with the way that you work out. So I'm in the middle of creating that because I need something, and so I'm writing it for myself. It's just definitely been a challenge, and so I will share with you as I continue to go along this journey. But that's where my working out is right now. And then when it comes to the nutrition component of it, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. This is something that I teach all the time in my courses and with my coaches, with my clients, is just keep it really simple. And that's what we've been doing out on the road. I am gluten-free, dairy-free, and so dining out is really hard for me. We still do it because we're out and we want to experience life. However, it is a challenge for me, and there's a lot of prep that goes into that. I'm actually going to do a video about it, but I also have a lot of the information in my Women's Nutrition Catalyst course that explains my strategies for how I deal with dining out. But we have probably, everywhere we go, we at least dine out once. Breakfast is way easier for me than anything else, because you can't really screw up hash browns and eggs. When it comes to dinners, those can be a little more challenging. So when we were in the Tetons, when we were in Jackson, I basically just created my meal off of random things that I saw on the menu that looked good that I could eat. I did like some rice with some chicken, and then I put it in a soup. That's how I made my meal. And then other places that we go, I just have to be very careful, and you have to ask a lot of questions. My number one recommendation, sorry, this bee is just all over me. My number one recommendation is just know before you go. I research the crap out of every restaurant before we go, just to ensure that there's going to be something that I can eat there. And I do a lot of pre-planning with snacks. I prep a lot of snacks, so we have ground beef. We actually just got another freezer and fridge so that we can store more ground beef, because we've been going to the grocery store a lot because we only had a small little guy. But yeah, ground beef is a saving grace. Ground chicken, we get a lot of our stuff from Force of Nature as well as local farms around the area. And then a lot of fruit, and really just convenient, easy stuff that I can grab. And I've moved from Zevia because I'm trying to cut back on the amount that I drink, not because it's bad for me, but more so because it can get expensive. I feel like I've been looking at, and like, I'm basically getting a Starbucks drink every time that I have my Zevia. So I have switched to Spindrift, which I'm digging right now. But when it comes to the nutrition on the road, it's definitely, we're eating out more. The one thing that I will say that has been really helpful for me mentally is just giving myself some grace, like, because we are all in different phases of what we want with our goals, with our nutrition and our body, but we have to be realistic in that aspect as well. And so I can't have this goal that I want to look a certain way or perform a certain way when I know that my lifestyle is not going to really be a good environment for me to achieve that goal. The environment that I'm in right now is more like go with the flow, experience life. And so I'm not going to be at the top of my game with any of that. And I need to understand that and respect that rather than just continue to want that. but know that I'm not going to achieve that deep down inside. That's something that is really hard for me to do, and I feel like that's something that is not talked about a lot when it comes to nutrition coaching, but it is extremely important to just be aware of the environment that you live in, the lifestyle that you live. Are these what's the word I'm looking for? Like, are these cultivating the things that, is the environment that you live in and the lifestyle that you live cultivating what you need to achieve that goal? Because if it's not, then you either need to adjust your environment and your lifestyle, or you need to adjust your goal. And for me personally, I need to adjust my goal because I love the environment and lifestyle that I'm living right now. I just need to have a more realistic goal. And so I'm working through that right now as well. And maybe that's something that you need to work through, because it will relieve a lot of guilt and stress and that feeling of like, I'm just not doing enough, when you realize that you are doing enough for the place that you're at and the priorities that you have. And so with that, the last little piece is just the routine component of it. We are slowly getting there. I'm learning, like, I'm definitely sleeping a bit longer, because when you wake up and there's no heat and it is 40 degrees in your camper, you do not want to get out of bed. So I'm adjusting the time that I sleep a little bit, and I'm turning the heat on at night so that it will be on in the morning. So that's helping me get out of bed. And then it's more so just, I still plan my schedules on Sunday. Sunday is the day that I plan my entire week. It will always shift. It always does. Plans change every single day. However, if I feel like I have some type of structure for my entire week, if I know the days I'm lifting, I know the days that I am working for longer hours, or I know what's going on, I feel so much better about everything. And then the last piece with the planning is that I plan my workouts on Sunday and I write my workouts on Sunday, so I do not have to think about it during the week. I just look at what I'm doing and I go. And I use Training Peaks to plan all of my stuff and track all of my data. So that's been life on the road. It has been amazing in all aspects. I love everything about it. The things that I'm sharing with you are just the real life struggles and the real life situations of being out on the road. It's nothing bad, it's just new. And so I'm learning to navigate it, but I am enjoying it. And again, I'm staying true to myself and to who I am with doing my fitness and eating the way that I want to eat so that I feel good. Even if that means going to a restaurant and sitting and letting JT eat, which we did in Driggs, Idaho. I packed my food, so I ate food. Then we went to a pizza restaurant. JT had his pizza and I had a glass of wine. It was a win-win for everyone. But I knew that eating that pizza was not going to serve me, nor is it ever really worth it for my stomach. It just rocks me. Even with gluten-free and dairy-free and all of the freeze things, it's just not worth it to me. So yeah, you just make little compromises like that, and it just eventually feels a bit more normal, because I can tell you at first it will not. And that's what I got for you. That's the August update. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will say Women's Nutrition Catalyst is almost on its way, so if you are interested, there is a link below. You can check it out. And then the last little piece is that there is going to be some swag coming out I'm super stoked about, as well as a new course that is going to have a group coaching opportunity with it called SEND. It's Strength, Endurance, Nutrition designed for women, and it is this is my baby. So look forward to that. You can read about it below, and thank you again for watching.